Yo, 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 what's going on, man? This is your boy Mark Lamont. Welcome back to Elbow Media Studios. Let's get back into another BeatMaker 3 tutorial, but this time we're going to go ahead and look at song arrangement. Taking that track that you just did, you got all your kicks in there, you got all your sounds in there, you got all these tracks. Now you're in the sequencer and you're trying to figure out, okay, what do I do from here? I don't want to export a song at 4 bars or 8 bars. I want it to be a full song so I can post it on YouTube or give it to an artist or whatever I want to do. Even if I want to take that and move it to another DAW and start working on it even more, we're going to talk about how to get that song ready for export. All right, so ain't no time to waste, man. Let's go ahead and get to it.
All right, guys, so let's look at how to take a track that you just made and turn it into a song, which is called track arrangement. Okay, right now I am in the sequencer right now, so if you were probably sitting here in your banks, and if we already talked about samples, and if you go down to the third one, this is where your sequencer lives, and your beat is already going to be ready. If you adjusted anything as far as how many bars you want it to be, you already know that's going to be here. We can actually go ahead and stretch that out if we want, because of course our song is going to be longer than just 8 bars, and the beat is there if we push play. Okay, so now we know that the beat is there. Let's go ahead and start trying to arrange this track so that we could make a song. And if we want to maybe post this to Instagram, or post it to YouTube, or even give it to an artist, we can have it somewhat kind of laid out so he could write to it, and then we'll talk about maybe exporting and get it ready if he wants to take it to the studio and get it mixed. So as we talked about before, down here in the bottom you have your move controls, you have your selection, and then you have your cut. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead on and use the selection tool, and we're going to drag and select that, and you can use your finger. I'm just using my Apple Pencil because it's cool and expensive and it's easier to select things. All right, so now that we have all of the tracks selected, we can go ahead and easily start creating our song just by hitting the duplicate down here on the right. And as you can see, that's just making more and more loops for us. And if we can't see the entire song, you can just grab your 2 fingers and squeeze. Y'all know how we like to go that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move our loop over. Okay, and as you can see, our song is now longer, so we can start playing around with some different combinations to kind of get this to sound cool. So we already know if we go ahead and solo the first track, that is going to be our sample. Right, so we probably gonna want that to start playing in the beginning. So let me go ahead and stretch this out a little bit. Let me get on the move tool. That way we can move around, and we already know that we're gonna probably want that to be in the beginning. So we can go ahead and highlight our kicks and percussion, and go ahead and remove that, or we could just squeeze it down. Let me make sure I got them all selected here, and then we can just How is that working? It seems like it doesn't want to let us move it. So let's see. Okay, probably because we're not on the move tool, like I just said. So let's go ahead and highlight everything, and then we're going to just move it on over. And this way we can have maybe 4 bars play before the kick drops in. Let's see how that sounds. Right now I have it on solo mode, but as we can tell, we wanted to go 8. Right? So what I just noticed right there is that I kind of want this to play out 8 bars before I want it to drop in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead on and highlight and select those, and I'm just going to go ahead and remove them. Now, whenever I play it, I don't have to have anything soloed. It's going to play through the 8 bars, and then it's going to drop when it's supposed to drop. And that's cool, but you're probably saying to yourself, Mark, that's cool, but maybe we can have like a lead in, into that 9th bar instead of just having it just jump right in. And that's very easy to do. Once we select those, we can actually go ahead and go to our move tool, move it over, duplicate it so we can fill back up that area. Go back to our select tool, select it, and then what we can do is we can go to cut, and then we can just start cutting. You know what I'm saying? Cut here, cut there. Actually, I didn't want to cut that one, so let's just undo that. So we have all of those cut. Go back to our select tool, select these, and then we can essentially delete those, right? Go back, just make sure we cutting where we want to cut. It's a little finicky, right? So now let's go ahead and hear that and see how it sounds. Okay, that's starting to sound a little bit better, right? But what we want to do is I want to even cut it even more. So I'm going to cut this section, this section, this section, this section. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to select all of those and I'm going to delete them. And then this way I can go ahead and play that and then I can kind of get what I want, right? Let's just go ahead and make sure that sample plays. That sounds a lot better right there coming in like that, right? Okay, so now we know we have our intro, and this is kind of like our intro section, right? So let's figure the rapper is probably going to rap 16 bars or something like that, and we know that our beat is in 8-bar increments. So we know somewhere around here is where we're going to need the beat to kind of change up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Then we're going to select our bass, which is our drum kick, and we're going to remove that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start the playhead right there, and then we're going to listen to this track breakdown right there for the hook. Right? And then somewhere around here, we don't even want anything to come in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our selection tool. Actually, we're going to go to our cut. And we're going to cut this section, and this section right here. So we're going to cut all that out. So we're going to just select all of those, right? See if we can just select them. There we go. Then remove that one, and maybe just have, those two come in. Let's see how that sounds. Let's put it right there. Put our playhead right there. Push play. We're not going to hear our sample. It needs to start from the beginning. There we go. All right, so let's listen to the hook again. Let's listen to that hook one more time. And we can even bring back the bass drum. Right? So I'm thinking, I like that bass drum being somewhere right there. So we can actually take this. Let me stop that from playing. Then we can actually take this. We can go duplicate. And then let's just move it on over here. Let me get my move deal. All right. We're going to move it on over there. And then we're going to go ahead and cut. We're going to cut this section here because that's where our kick comes in. And then we're going to try to select this guy here. And then we're going to go ahead and remove it. That way, when our kick drop, it kind of drops in with the snare and the hi-hat. Let's see how that sounds. Yeah, I like that right there, right? All right, so now, as you can see, we're starting to build on this song, And trust me, it's a tedious process, but this is what it's about. You know what I'm saying? And the cool thing about it is you can actually copy and paste this section right here. So you can copy that, right? Or in this case, duplicate it. Let's just say we know that, again, this is 16 bars right here. So we know that this bar is going to be where we need to drop in our hook. And if we want the hook to be the same, we could easily take this and remove that section, select this portion, right? Do a duplicate and then drag that right into place, as you can see what I just did there. So it'll do exactly what it did here, but it'll do it there. And this is how you kind of speed through your arrangement portion. You just you could take parts, and then when you get up in here, you could switch a little bit out. I could possibly take out this portion, have that drop without this drop, or maybe take the snares out, or I could just take individual pieces out by just hitting the cut tool, and then I could cut this piece right here, and then we could just, remove that and then not have that play if that's what I wanted to do. But that's not what I want to do right now. How do I do a redo? Okay, let's get off of that tool. Okay, so let's just go ahead and kind of play that back and see what we got. You know, we have our intro, and our intro is playing. We're gonna have our drop, and then we're gonna have our hook portion. Well, I feel like I want to bust out a lyric on y'all, but I ain't gonna do it though. I'ma chill. Yeah. There come our hook. Yep. It's kind of nice little track right here. Yes. All right. So as you can see, this could be, you know, you can put this as your process, but again, you want to kind of put some variations in there. You don't want everything to kind of be the same. So you can get creative with this. And then you can also create an audio track. As we can see here, if we click over here, it has a little track button where you can actually create a new track. It has a plus sign. Create you an audio track. And if you want to get really, really creative, you can actually throw something into that beginning to throw the whole thing off. If you had a MIDI keyboard, you can actually play some different things just to kind of change it up, even inside of the hook. Let's see if we can just kind of throw something in there real quick. Okay. I guess that can be kind of cool to bring it in the beginning. So all I have to do is click on that, drag it, and drop that right in, as you can see there. Let's go ahead and exit out of that. We definitely want to try to turn that volume down. So I'm going to go to the mixer real quick. I know that's an audio track. So I'm going to go ahead and drop that volume, head back over to the sequencer, and I want to hear how that sounds real quick. Let's go. Turn it up a little bit. Some of those portions I don't want in there, like that right there. Yeah, see how that worked? Let's play it again. Now see, some of that we don't even want up in there, so I can actually stretch that out a little bit. And I know it lives somewhere up in there, so I could go in and cut that. You know, remove that portion, maybe even remove that portion, and let's see how that sounds. See, and again, I don't even want that portion in there. So let's see if we could cut that portion out as well. I want to see if I could increase. No, can't do that. Let's see. Let's cut it out, right? And really, I wanted a little bit more of that in there, but it doesn't really seem like it's going to allow me to. And maybe it's because I haven't figured that portion out, but I actually need my bars to be a little bit tighter. I need more flexibility as far as my grid is concerned, and I'll work on that. I'll try to figure that out, but we'll go ahead and remove that as well, and we'll play it again. I can actually take that and duplicate it. Wait, hold on. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to cut. So let's put it on move. We can duplicate that and possibly have it, you know, double up or whatever. Could be an idea. Or I could put an echo on that and just kind of have it echo all the way through until the beat drop. Right? So essentially, man, that is just a very, very quick way when it comes to working with the sequencer. And trust me, there's a lot of more tricks and a lot of more things that you could possibly do. You can get very creative with this, especially with the audio track. That probably wasn't the best example, but I did show you how to get an audio track in there. This could be anything. This could be vocals. If you recorded some vocals and you had them sitting in the sample area, you can put your vocals in there. And I'm going to do a tutorial about how to put producer tags inside of your beats, and we're going to use the audio track for us to do that, and that's a request that came from one of the subscribers in the comments. So we're going to put that together for you. But again, just a quick tutorial on how to arrange different sounds inside of your track. That way you can start really making a song out of your super duper cool beat creations. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen, man. Appreciate y'all for checking out this tutorial. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and go ahead on and comment if you want to. And if you guys got any ideas about any tutorials that y'all would like me to do, go ahead on and let me know in the comments, man. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so whenever videos like this come out, you'll be the first one to be notified, man. And, hey, look, I appreciate you sticking around to the end of this tutorial. We really appreciate that. So once again, my name is Mark Lamont. Y'all already know what it is. Elbow Media Studios. I'll catch y'all in the next one, all right? Peace.